Gotcha.
Okay. So moving into the secondary, we have starting with our all-pro corner, Trey White. Season was cut short last year. He had 630 snaps, 39 tackles, 9 missed, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, and a 61.4 passer rating allowed. In 2020, he had 878 snaps, 51 tackles, 6 missed, 1 forced fumble, 3 interceptions, and a 91.7 passer rating allowed. He was actually having a better year last year before he got hurt than he was in 2020. Which, I expect him to come back and be fine. I don't think he's going to be all pro Trey when he first gets back, because it always takes a little bit of time to come back from knee injuries like that. But I think he's going to be better than what we've had out there. I think 80% of a Trey White's better than a lot of guys that are back out there. A lot of CB2s.
100%. So I mean, listen, this was a big injury. Okay. There's no way around that. Like this is a injury that's going to take some time, and not every player comes back, right away. Not every player plays the way he once did. Now, some players do come back. Some come back even better. It just, every player's body is different, right? Heals differently. So I know, and I said this on Twitter and everyone's got on me about it, but I know what you hear from the coaches that he's on track. That means nothing, guy. Like they're not gonna say he's not on track. Like it's good to hear, but I'm telling you right now, I would not be surprised if he's on the PUP list to start, and he starts in week 8. And I'll be real with you guys here. Even if he's somewhat 90% ready by week 1, I don't know if I feel comfortable. If he's 90% by week 1, Mikey, I'll tell you what, maybe you don't put him on the PUP list, but you keep him out to like week 4, right? Like you give him a couple.
You put him on that short-term IR, that 3-week IR.
Is that exactly short-term IR, and then maybe week 3, week 4 he returns. But I'm just not comfortable, with him coming in right away because. Man, listen, it's also mental, guys, with something like this, right? It is like, and I wish he was ready to go a little preseason just to kind of get,
Oh, he's not touching preseason.
No, I know he's not, but I'm saying like if he comes into a game, let's say hypothetically, week 4, week 3, right? Like they're like, okay, you know what? I feel good. I wouldn't even know if I would want to start him, but maybe throw him in there and take him out here and there just to kind of get the feel for the game again. His legs going against, got to remember, he's going to make a tackle. He's going to make a cut. This isn't just practice. So I would kind of want him to go in there like just slowly, in my opinion, right? Like not just throw him in right away week 1 and he's full on at week 1. Like I don't know. I just want to be up for that. Would you? I mean,
yeah.
I just
if the doctors tell me he's good and he tells me he's good, I'll trust him.
I get it, man, but no training, no hardcore training.
Listen, they're going to test him before they let him come back.
Yeah,
he'll have to show that he can cut and do all those quick twitch drills and all that fun stuff before he comes back. They're not just going to.
No, I get it.
Go out there.
No, I get it, but I've seen other players where they did do that, where they kind
Tommy, you can't play scared.
It's not about playing scared. Football. It's not about playing scared. I'm not saying play scared.
You're talking about bringing him back slowly.
I'm saying limited playing time. Maybe he comes in
if he's ready to play
game in week 3. Let's say he comes in. Yeah, I don't think so. I've seen players do that, Mikey. I've seen players coming in a little limited, and then they started the next week 100%. They were ready to go, full force. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's not about playing scared. I just feel like,
Dude, can I see him? Can I see him Can I see McDermott doing a rotation back there with the 3 guys with Elam, Jackson, and White?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Right.
That seems like a McDermott type of thing to do.
That's what I'm saying. Not so much
ease in both White and Elam, and supplement them with Jackson. I could see that with random series.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking.
I don't think they do it long if they do it.
No, it'll be like a game. That's what I'm saying. It'll probably be one game where you kind of just do a little bit more of a rotation thing, or you swap him around a little bit, and then I think he's ready to go. It's just kind of like, hey, how's he feeling out there? That's all.
I don't understand Chewy's comment. I am far from afraid of Trey's return. Tommy's talking about easing him in. I'm talking about just throwing him out there. So I'm not sure what this comment is.
Hey Tommy, why is Mikey so afraid? No, Mikey's not afraid. Mike is saying
I'm like, if he's ready to go, put him out there. Tommy's more of the afraid one.
No. You got that wrong. I'm not afraid. No, I don't.
You're talking about easing him back in.
No. I'm saying the first game, to me, and I guarantee it happens. I'll almost promise you that he will be kind of limited in that game. I'll promise you, the first game he sees, there's no way that he's going to be out there 100 all the snaps, 100%. I guarantee they kind of ease him in there. They ease that game. He's not going to be the same Trey as he was last year going into season 100% health. They're just going to kind of like get him going.
See, I think Trey's going to come back.
I'll tell you what too, though, just like preseason, right? We talk about preseason, right? So there's 3 games. The starters usually play at least a quarter, correct?
Yeah, most of the time. Usually in game 2.
Now it's game 2. It used to be game 3, but game 2 now, right? But that's kind of so they can get the feel of the game, get ready for that. And we all say it, right? Like, hey, it's good for them. Even the players say, I kind of want to, get that feel back, right? I want to get hit, right? So if Trey doesn't do that, I'm just saying, hypothetically, he's not there preseason. You just throw him out week 1, 100%, boom, boom, boom. Like, I kind of feel like maybe just kind of blend him in the first game.
Okay.
Whatever game. That's all I'm saying. That's all I mean. It's not about being scared. Just about because he's missing a lot of time. And so that's all I'm saying.
Knocking the rust off.
That's it. Exactly, Mikey. That's it. That's all it is. Okay. And if you're like, damn, this dude's he's playing at a high level right away.
See, when he comes back, they talk about a lot of people how when they come back from the ACL, they're not quite the same. But Trey White was never dependent on his skill set, like his speed and things like that. He's a technician. I think when he comes back, he's not going to miss a beat. I really do. Because he doesn't play just by physical gifts.
I agree.
He plays by technique.
And the good thing is he's young, Mikey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he has that on his side as well. Age is on his side. Because if this happened to a 30-year-old Trey White, I don't know.
32-year-old Trey White.
Right. Yeah, I'm saying like right.
He's in his prime right now. He's going into his prime right now. So yeah.
All right, a player like that with a big injury like that, with the work ethic he has, and the training staff we have, he'll be. I think he'll be fine.
I think he's gonna be fine too because he's a smart player who plays off of instinct and technicality. The way he is all about his traits and doing his job, and he's his how he sets up things. Yeah, he doesn't play off pure speed or brute force or any of that. He's not. He's technically sound. So, anyways, Trey White, he'll be back at some point this year. We're hoping earlier 100%. Than later. Because if we misses the first 3 weeks and comes back for week 4, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm totally.
I would love to see him start the year, but at the end of the day, we need a healthy Trey White. When we're going into the playoffs. So, however it gets Trey White 100%, healthy, guys. That's all that 100%. Matters. Our second one is Kaiir Elam. In 2021, he had 29 tackles. Again, he couldn't get the missed tackles or the forced fumbles. He had 1 pick and he had a 55.6 passer rating against. Kaiir Elam had an up and down 2021. He was playing through a lot of injuries at Florida. His 2020 tape and his 2019 tape were phenomenal. His tape for 2020 and 2019 rival Stingley Jr. for how good he truly was. He's had an up and down, senior year or junior year. I don't know exactly what it was, but a 2021 season that he battled injury the whole time. So excited to see what he's going to bring. He's going to bring a new element. We've been asking, Mafia's been asking for a long time to have that blue chipper across from Trey White. Then let's see what this defense can do with Poyer and Hyde and have 4 blue chippers back there. Well, now we get to see it.
Okay, but I will say this. To Kaiir Elam's credit, going to the Florida Gators schedule, he's going against the top offenses, right?
Yeah, so he's played against Jameson
Alabama
and Michi and all the Alabama receivers, Devonta Smith,
Georgia. LSU,
Waddle,
Florida State.
Yeah.
I mean, these all. I mean, even the teams that aren't
Jamar
up
Chase's.
there. I mean, dude, this guy's played against, and he's going against the number one. So, listen, when that draft happened, Mikey, and I didn't know much about him, and I will eat crow, and I love the pick now because once I saw,
but we said we were going to do that once we said
that
from the very beginning.
It happens.
We said we fell in love with a guy, and we know better not to fall in love with a guy. We should fall in love with a position, not a player.
100%.
And because we're going to root for whoever the Bills select, whether we like them or not, whether our player
100%.
was there, which our player was there that we wanted,
Yep.
and they took somebody else. We're going to root for him. He's a Buffalo Bill. We want him to be the best of it, ever.
Then you do your homework, which you should if you're a Bills fan, and you find out, okay, who do we draft? Where did he come from? What kind of player is this? Right? What's his strengths? What's his weaknesses? Right? Is this guy a good guy?
Last year with Rousseau, with Group? I didn't want Group. I wanted us to take Asante Samuel Jr., the corner, who ended. He had a fantastic rookie year for the Chargers. Mm-hmm. I wanted the corner last year, and then they took Rousseau. But then once I got to know more about Group and his background and how he was a safety in high school, came to college, transitioned, played 1 year, was number 2 in the nation in sacks behind Chase Young, and then opted out for COVID because his mom was a nurse, and then he gets drafted after the opt-out year, and he's just this ball of clay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not love that?
Exactly. And where we drafted him was towards the end of the draft.
In round 1.
Right.
Same
so,
with you, end of round 1.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. By the way, real quick, Chewy coming in. So I guess we're not signing Joe Hayden.
I still would not say that won't happen.
I want to count it out.
Hayden is a vet.
He hasn't signed yet.
Who hasn't signed yet, who's close to Von Miller, who may not want to do the beginning of training camp. Mm-hmm. He's a veteran. Those guys hate training camp.
Exactly.
I can see us bringing him in because I can see us the first 2 weeks of training camp to see what we got in our cornerback room and say, we better. Because at training camp, when we report, we'll know more about what Trey White's going to look like. They're looking at him saying, okay, he's not going to be ready until week 8. I can see them signing a
100%. 100%. And they could do cuts, right? Mm-hmm. To be able to afford a contract.
We still have $5 million.
Yeah, he's probably going to be a 1-year deal, right? Yeah. Or if it's not him, it's somebody else. It's a vet that's still out there, and there is quite a few.
Yeah, there's still a few good ones out there.
Yeah, so I expect I still in my mind I think they will still get a veteran corner because it kind of seems like they've done that since they've been here. They've gone out and got a vet. So it would be kind of surprising that all of a sudden they don't go to a vet.
I truly believe if they don't sign a vet, that means Trey's ready to go week 1.
I could see that. I agree with you there. Then they're very optimistic about his rehab.
Because then Kylie Elam or Dane Jackson is CB3.
I get it.
If he's not going to be ready to go, then I can see us going out and get a vet because we can't be relying on the Cam Lewis's and the Sharon Neils and the Christian Benfords and Nick Mcclouds, the regulator himself, Elijah Griffin, those type of guys, those young guys. We're not going to do that. That's not who we are.
Correct. They won't do that. They'll need that leadership out there on the field, even if the player's on the sideline. Let's just say it's hypothetically he's not even a starter. They may just need that guy in the locker room for now to just kind of tutor these guys up, or if they need to talk to him on a sideline, whatever.
Man,
I think
it's
good to have
Joe Hayden in this defense though. He's such a smart, heady veteran. He would flourish.
I would love him.
Defense.
I would love him. I think. There's he hasn't signed with anyone. Yeah. So there's a reason for that. And like you said, Mikey, maybe to him, he's like, hey, you know what? I don't want to do OTAs, right? I'm a vet. I'm skipping all that. I'll wait. I'll see how this plays out. And then teams will come looking at it when the training camp starts up.
Yeah.
And that's probably what's going to happen. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I wouldn't mind him at all. That's the one guy I would like, to be honest with you, out of all those free agents that's available. But I would probably take any veteran quality CB right now.
Yeah, I'm just not overly thrilled with the Cam Lewis's and the UDFA's from last year as being significant backups for us this year.
Yeah. Chewy coming in with a question for you, Mikey.
Who do you guys see as a surprise cut after camp? Ooh, surprise cuts.
That's tough, man. I think there's gonna be a few. Or surprise cut / trade. Right.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing, guys, by the way. But you're getting something. That's a
and I don't know if it's a real surprise, but I could see the Matakaviches, the Taiwan Joneses, those type of special team only guys starting to fall off the roster after camp because they still do make some money, especially Matakavich. And if Bedard or any of those linebackers show out on special teams, I could see them letting someone like that go. I think the big one is probably Cody Ford is the one that probably sticks out the most to me.
That's what I was going to say. A trade.
But I think it's more of a trade than a cut.
Yeah, you got to get something for him, even if it's a late round pick, 6th round. It is what it is.
Zach Moss, maybe?
That's another one that's interesting, but I'll tell you what, on Zach Moss.
I mean, I don't want Zach Moss to go, though. I like
I talked to I was talking to what's his name? Curtis. And he made a good point. I got to give him credit. So he said, listen, what if hypothetically you cut Zach Moss and all you got is Duke Johnson back there? And what if he gets hurt? Let's just say hypothetically. Then you have no more power back, right? You lose your power back.
Duke Johnson's not a power back anyways.
No, but
we use our power back as 17. Let's be honest.
I get it, but you can't. You got to eventually go away from that, right? That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, Duke Johnson is more power back than, let's say, Singletary. But man, like, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like, what has Zach Moss done? Really, he's averaging 2.3 a carry. It's not like great. He's not killing people at the line and moving the line forward either. So unless he really improves in camp, I think he's definitely, in my opinion, on the roster bubble. 100%. Okay. Zach Moss is on the roster bubble.
Yeah. So I mean, those are the couple guys I can see. I mean, I talked about a few special teams guys, but like from a previous Bills roster, I could see probably Cody Ford and Zach Moss are the two I could see the most. Unless we have some, because there's nobody that's really super highly paid that I think that would get cut.
Exactly. Yeah, those are the only guys.
There's no Shadies out there like he was when Shady was so the surprise cut.
Or a kicker, like when we had the one guy that we knew, like we not overpaid, but he just was done. Like that's why we got Bass. Yeah,
house money.
We got
Bass and Bass beat him out. I can see that. Maybe surprise. I could see maybe Ariza, the punt god, being a surprise cut.
Ooh,
everyone just assumes he's gonna be the punter, but I don't think we're gonna. If he can't hold, he's not gonna be the punter.
I think he's a punter. I think he's a punter regardless. In my opinion,
you think we're gonna?
I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I think. Well, no, not necessarily. So if he can't hold, hypothetically, let's say he can't. Let's say he's just, which is unbelievable, but it happens. I mean, Boriork has Bojo gonna do it, right? And I'm sure they work for Bojo, and he's just gonna figure it out. So let's say he's like a Bojo. He just can't figure it out. I think if he's that good at punting, especially in Buffalo weather, especially towards the end of a season where we need to drive that ball in that kind of weather, you can't have Matt Hawk back there kicking from our own 20 to the 40. You know what I mean? Like, I think they would figure it out. I really do, because when you have a punter, Matt Hawk, kicking 15-yard punts, it's a big liability. It puts the defense in jeopardy.
We'll get into the punters. We'll get there. No,
I'm just saying, like that. Yeah, you're right. We're gonna get that, but I'm just saying, like, I think Hawk makes a team regardless.
You think Hawk does?
I'm sorry, not Hawk. I'm sorry, the punt guy. I think punt guy makes team, or Matt Ariza.
Okay. All right. So let's keep moving on. Sharon Johnson. his 2021 season, he had 877 snaps, 66 tackles, 11 missed tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, and a 76.9 passer rating. Sean Johnson is a upper echelon slot corner. I don't know if I want to say elite yet, but he's trending towards the top of the slot corner rankings. Dane Jackson in 2021 had 482 snaps, 37 tackles, 3 missed, no forced fumbles, no interceptions, but he had an 80.8% pass rating against, which actually was better than Levi Wallace's. Just so you know, I looked it up. Levi Wallace's was an 86 point something.
But was Dane Jackson going against the 1? Or
yes.
The 2? He was the one.
Whoever they both played their side, so they didn't follow.
I got you.
Dane played on the left, and Wallace played on the right. So,
I mean, Dane really also did. To Levi's credit, though, even though you don't like Levi also played more games than Dane. Dane came in later, correct? When Trey got out. So,
well, what does it tell you? Dane came in later.
No, Dane is a better. I
picked on Levi.
No, I get it. I think Dane is younger and better and has better speed. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I would say they were Steven last year. I get what you're saying, but I still give a little bit more credit than you do to Levi.
Levi had more interceptions, and because he had 3 picks last year. So I mean, at the end of the day, Dane Jackson came in and we didn't miss a whole lot. He was a solid,
except for the Chiefs game.
Yeah, but even the Chiefs game, he wasn't the one getting burnt.
No, I know, but we were still. So why not switch him up if he wasn't the one to get isn't that on the coaching staff?
Yeah, that is absolutely on the coaching staff.
Okay, so if you see one player,
they just picked on Levi over and over and over and over.
I just felt like our whole defense when Trey went out that game,
Swiss cheese.
We just played super scared on defense, man.
We played super conservative again.
Yeah,
that's something that's on McDermott and Frazier that they need to get out of their own heads. Stop playing conservative.
Yep, which I think they learn.
Yep. Well, I hope so. It's 2 years in a row now that they've let them just. Okay, and then we'll move over. We have Sharon Neil, special team ace. He did play 154 defensive snaps. He had 14 tackles, 1 missed tackle, and he had a 56.3 passer rating. So he actually played better as a corner last year than he did in 2020. We're at 105 passer rating against. So he is getting better as a. But we played him more as the big nickel than we did actually outside cornerback. He had a great game in week 5 against Travis Kelce. He just beat him up at the line. I love
him, man. He's a hybrid, bro. He is physically. I forget who said it. I think it was Poyer or Hyde. I think it was Poyer. Wasn't Hyde said he's the most like
physically gifted.
Yeah, right. Physically gifted athlete on the Buffalo Bills roster, and I believe it. Like this dude, like on kickoffs, he's like the first one to make it most of the time. Right.
He's a special teams animal.
I mean, dude, and even when he's on the field on defense, he's just physical.
You can't put him up against those shifty wide receivers. You need to put him up where he can beat the guy up like against the tight ends.
Exactly. It's 100%, Mikey. But I love him, man. I just love what he brings.
I'm glad he's back for 3 years.
100%.
He was 3-year, $9 million deals. Well,
he was the one guy I was like, that's the one. Like, remember when we were going in the offseason? I'm like, remember we were picking who do you got to sign? Remember we did that show? Like, who's the must-haves? And like, Sharon Neil was like right there. Like,
I didn't argue with you on that because Sharon Neil is such a core special teamers, and he brings so much attitude on that defense. That's what we've been missing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Cam Lewis, who's been up and down off the practice squad the last few years. He actually took Tron Johnson's job in 2020 before he got hurt, and then Tron Johnson took it back and never let it go. He had 55 snaps, 5 tackles, 1 missed, 1 forced fumble, and a 39.6 passer rating last year in mop-up duty. But then we have the Christian on the bubbles. We have, I do think these 5 guys are the 5 that will make the team. I think White, Elam, Johnson, Jackson, and Neil all make the team. I can see one of these other on the bubble guys coming up, whether it's Cam Lewis, Christian Benford, which I think Christian Benford's going to lean more towards safety than corner, because he kind of fits more of that Micah Hyde role.
Yep.
Nick Mccloud, Then we have the regulator himself, Elijah Griffin. We have veteran Tim Harris, who was on the 2020 practice squad for different teams. Jamarcus Ingram, rookie UDFA out of Buffalo, and Trayvon Fuller, rookie UDFA out of Tulsa. A lot of those guys are going to be practice squad guys. I can see maybe one of them getting in the mix.
Where's Hamlin at?
Hamlin's a safety.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
We'll get to safeties next.
Yeah, my bad. Okay. I'll tell you what. They see something in Griffin that they like because they signed him right away. For that 1 year, whatever it was.
And I think Nick Mccloud is actually the one that they see more in than Griffin. They're talking about using Griffin as a safety.
No, I know. I'm just saying there's something. I was starting with him. So there's something in Griffin that they must like because he was one of those signings that they did right away kind of in the offseason. So they must see something in him in order to do that. Because normally I would say, okay, like they could just have him on team practice squad, whatever. But to sign him right away, like to do that
to a future deal, they signed him. To a future deal,
Nick
Mccloud both at the same time.
Was very interesting, and Nick Mccloud looked very good last year. So that's a player. Time. That's a player for sure that we want to look out for, like 100%. Look out for him in preseason, because that dude looked pretty good last season.
He was signed off of when we released him at Cutdown Day. He was picked up by another team. He was the Browns. Yes. If I remember correctly, and he spent 2 weeks with the Browns, and then they released him, and he came back to the Buffalo's practice squad. Yeah.
So I those two guys, the bubble guys there or whatever, they're for sure, I think, making the squad. Unless something. Really,
I don't think either one of those guys are making squad. I think they're both going to be practice squad.
I'm sorry, they're making the practice squad, correct? Yeah. But I don't think they're going to be cut.
I think it comes down to Christian Benford or Cam Lewis if they carry a CB6. Correct.
But I think like I said, I think they like those two guys. They're definitely going to be on the team, at least on the practice squad, unless they get picked up. Off the practice squad. That's it.
Okay. On to safeties. Safeties is pretty easy. There's 5 safeties. That's it. There is no UDFA safeties.